Okay, Fish on TV, and we're back, and we're here at Crow's Nest Yacht Sales on Shelter Island Drive, and we hooked up with Team Bad Company. We've got a chance to interview Steve Lasley and Pete Grossbeck, kind of a crucial part of your team, and this is Anthony Hsieh, the owner of the whole operation. Anthony, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
You know, you've put together something here that in my eyes is really special in that you've almost put together like a superstar team of fishermen, and you've been the most consistent on the circuit, the West Coast circuit of sport fishing for the last few years. What do you attribute this to?
I think you got a bunch of guys that have pretty deep desires to win, and they're doing it because they're competitive and they're motivated, and they want to become the best.
Now, I know you're a phenomenal businessman. Have you put the business sense into all of this? Have you used this as more of a? Have you taken a business concept to this possibly, or?
Well, I'm not sure if you can strip out business concepts, but you just treat people with a lot of respect, with dignity, and have mutual respect. And hopefully everybody drinks the Kool-Aid and marches together and goes on the same heading, and everybody locks arms and tries to reach your goals. So I think it's more of a sports analysis more than business, but from a business angle, you just really try to reach the same goal. So everybody is marching to the same tune.
Right, and you've really put technology on your side as well, and I constantly see the newest of electronics, and you guys are always out in front of all of that stuff. How has that helped you guys accomplish your goals as far as tournament fishing?
Well, in competition, any sort of competition, you're always looking for an edge. Whether it's the boat or equipment, electronics, everything else you have. And electronics is one of the areas that is the innovation is coming fast and strong. So it's almost like the computer days for a business where, you got to stay on top of it, and you got to know what's available and not chasing any rainbows either, because there's a lot of stuff out there that sounds good but doesn't work. So you take your shots on what you like to test, and then you test it out, and if it works, and you have yourself a little bit of an edge there. You know what Steve touched on, and to me I think is key, and he says you guys have fun out there. Yeah, we do. Sometimes too much. You got to keep it fun. This is a fun sport. Yeah. And if it ever becomes a little too stuffy or a little too serious, then it's time to hang it up. But at the same time, it's fishing's hard work. Sometimes you're glassing all day and for that one fin, and that one fin might be the winner. So you gotta practice tenacity at the same time, but you gotta stay loose, have fun, and high five and joke around and do some of the things that you got to do to keep it loose. A couple practical jokes every now and again. All the time. Okay, tell me about this beautiful boat we're on. Well, this is a very special gal here. She is a Rybovich game boat. She is one of the last two game boats that were built in this pedigree. This is a 94 45 Rybovich. She just finished a $1 million refit at Rybovich Yard. So she was a manufacturer at Rybovich, and we gave it a life again at Rybovich. She's cold mold. She's going to Hawaii, where she's going to live to chase trophy blue marlin in that area of the world. But what makes these boats really interesting is the heritage. This is one of the first names of sport fishing. They invented a lot of the things that are commonly known today as towers, fighting cheers, and outriggers and such. And this boat is one of the last two. It's a 1994, and there was another sister ship made around the same time, and that was it. And all the new Ryboviches are large, 70, 80 feet in range, and so the game boats are no more. So this is a very special classic here. Okay, great. Fish on TV, and we're back, and we're still talking to Anthony Hsieh here on board the Bad Company. Now, this boat you say is going to Kona, yep. And everybody kind of talks about Bad Company and what they've done on the West Coast and Cabo, and you guys have really conquered that tournament scene. Tell me a little about what you've done over in Kona. Well, Kona is it's a special spot for me because it's a rare place in the world where you get a shot at a trophy, and what I mean by trophy is a grandeur. Every year, that area produces 2 to 3 grandeurs every year, and multiple other ones that are lost. So this is one of the primary reasons we're putting this boat over there. And when you have a grandeur that is trying to get away, you need a boat that can spin and dance and go backwards in a hurry. And although we love bait fishing, particularly in the tournaments, I really enjoy lure fishing when I'm in Kona. There's something about the explosion of the bite and seeing the bite in that crystal calm blue water that is really unique, and this boat really fits that ticket.
Yeah, it's amazing, and I have fished Kona quite a bit, and seeing some of the stuff that happens over there when all of a sudden there's a hole about as big as a Volkswagen Bug in your wake, and the reel is screaming on 130, and I mean, not even, they'll peel out 500 yards just like that, and like you said, to have a boat that can spin and get on it. Now, what kind of power does this boat have? What kind of power are we talking?
We repowered it with QSM 11s and 715 horsepower each. So she's now a 36 knot boat, and she should be able to get in any area of the Kona region very, very fast. So it gives us that advantage as well.
Pete was talking a little about the bow thrusters and the stuff you've done to the Viking. Is that something you've added to this boat, or did you keep it more classic?
Well, this boat doesn't need it. This boat spins and twists and do all kinds of things on the water that Bryblovich game boats are known for. The bit larger vessels, when you have that much more bow that's stretched out, used to be known 10 years ago where only sissies have bow thrusters because, it's kind of a sign that you can't drive a boat.
Right.
But with these bow thrusters these days, you can literally crab a boat by turning the wheel hard over. And it gives you such an edge, not just to dock the boat, but when you got a big fish on leader and you got 40, 50 pounds of drag, anytime the boat can help you maneuver and get to that fish quicker, that's an advantage, and that's an advantage that we like to have. So all of our boats now have bow thrusters in them.
Right. Now, let's take the money out of this just for a moment, if I can. I know that you guys do a lot of these big money tournaments, but I kind of get the feeling that you love to fish from the heart. What in your sport fishing experience was, let's say, the one or two most memorable moments in tournaments or not in tournaments that you've had in sport fishing?
The first one I can tell you, it happened about 200 yards behind me, which is at the Marlin Club. In the late 70s, I weighed a 87-pound big eye tuna, and we did that from a 17-foot boat. So there's just a lot of great things in fishing, and for somebody like me that grew up with fishing instead of finding fishing, it's just a special part of my life, and I'm just real fortunate and blessed to be around a whole bunch of great people that I admire and have fun with, and the fact that I've been fortunate in business and I have the resources to play around with some of these things. It's just I'm a very, very lucky and fortunate guy.
Now, I have a 5-year-old daughter, and she's already walking the docks and fishing with me off the docks, and we've had her out to the Coronado Islands, and we get her a little further every time we go out. You say you grew up with fishing. Was your father into fishing and taking you out, or did you grow up just kind of fishing with friends, or how did that evolve?
Well, he took me out when I was younger, and then I started doing some deckhand work. I actually worked in Davies Locker and Penn-headed quite a bit in Long Beach and Queens Wharf back in those days, and did quite a bit of that. And when I was younger, we used to take an inflatable boat in King Harbor and catch yellowtail right in there by the bubble there and catch bonita. So just something that is just it's who I am. I don't think it's something I'm ever going to stop doing. It's really a lifestyle for me rather than a sport.
Oh, that's great. Hey, Anthony, really appreciate you joining us here today on Fish on TV, and good luck to you and the Bad Company team here in the coming season.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
Thanks a lot, man.
You bet.